I'm an attorney. It's all been taken care of. My daughter has given her consent. So.
I've given my consent?
Hi.
To what?
What are you doing here?
I was just talking to Silas. What were you talking about just now?
I was just navigating some red tape.
No, you said that I'd given my consent. I don't remember consenting to anything unless you're talking about Molly or Christina.
I was talking about you.
I'd like to hire you.
Why would you need my consent? For what?
Could you give us a minute, please?
I'll be in the lab. Let me know if you want that test run.
Thank you.
Wait a minute, what test? What is she talking about?
Sam, I didn't want to worry you.
Worry me? Mom, is something wrong with Danny? Come on, what are you keeping from me?
It's not about Danny. It's about your father.
What about my father?
It's complicated. Potentially complicated. You know what? It may be nothing at all. It could be a forced...
Excuse me, Mom. You're starting to ramble here, which means that normally you're normally nervous, and I want you to know right now that I'm not mad at you or upset. I'm just a little confused and kind of curious.
I don't blame you.
Okay, when you said that you found out things about my father, you said the only thing you knew that he was from New Hampshire and you met him in a bar and his name was Julian. Did you find something else out?
Possibly.
Okay.
And it's just a theory. Actually, it's more of a stretch. It'll probably evaporate into nothing.
Okay, but if it doesn't evaporate and your theory is right, come on, you've gone this far. You've got to tell my Mom. This is my father you're talking
All right,
about.
I know you have a right to know, even if I'm way off.
I get it. You could be wrong. Consider me duly warned.
I'm trying to find out if your father, Julian, is a man named Julian Jerome.
And who is this Julian Jerome? And please, Mom, please don't tell me he's related to Ava Jerome.
And the idea that Ava and Julian Jerome are connected has been discussed, but Ava denies it.
Okay. All right, good. Okay. So who is this guy?
Okay. When Frank Smith went to prison, this was before the rise of Sonny Corinthos. It was sometime during the 80s. Organized crime in Port Charles was run by the Jerome family. Duke Lavery actually worked for them.
Okay, and what about Julian?
So the head of the family was Victor, Julian's father, and when Victor died, Julian took over, and I understand he was a bit volatile and ruthless.
Okay, are you telling me that my father is a mobster?
Was a mobster. Julian Jerome is dead.
So, this man you think is my father is dead.
I don't think he's your father. I think there's a chance that he's your father, and I think that I owe it to
Mom,
you and Danny to try to find out.
Why would you even do this? Why? I mean, Danny and we found a donor. Why would you keep searching for my father?
Because once I was forced to think about him and remember his name, I couldn't stop thinking about him. I wanted to know who he was. I mean, is he alive? Is he dead? Is he the kind of man that you and Danny would want to meet? What about his medical history?
Okay, I get why you're curious. I guess, I mean, I'm a little curious too, but I don't get how you made the connection between my father and Julian Jerome.
Yeah, Sonny was sort of vague about this, but apparently there's some rival of his that's putting pressure on him, so he asked Sean to make some inquiries, and so Sean asked this guy a question, and the guy told him that he worked for Julian Jerome.
Wait a minute, worked for Julian Jerome? How can that happen? He's dead.
I obviously can't. I think that must have been some sort of misdirection, but what struck me was the name Julian. I mean, how many Julians are there? And so I researched, and I found out that Julian Jerome went to college in New Hampshire at the same time that I was at Briarton
Okay,
Griggs.
I get it. So you and this guy end up at a bar, and I'm the result?
I was just trying to see if I could prove that.
By running tests.
Yes.
And it didn't occur to you to tell me any of this?
I wanted to wait till I was sure. I didn't see the point of
Mom,
telling
you
something
lied
that
to
I was-
me.
Okay,
You flat out lied.
Okay. I did, I lied. I told them that you gave permission for the test.
Okay, so what kind of tests?
DNA tests.
A DNA? How can you do a DNA test if this guy's dead?
It's not a sample from Julian Jerome. It's a sample from his son.
Julian has a son?
Apparently he died before he realized that.
Okay, well, who is this guy?
Carly's brother.
Carly's brother? Lucas Jones?
Okay, Tony and Bobby adopted Lucas. Cheryl Stansberry and Julian Jerome were his biological parents.
Okay, so if Jerome is my father, that would make Lucas my half brother, and then Carly would be my.
Not related. You're
Are you
not
sure we're not
relaxed.
re-
It's good. Yeah.
Okay, you're right. You're right. We wouldn't be related because there's no biological relation between those two. So Carly and I aren't related on any level. Thank God.
Yeah.
Oh, thank
she
God.
said the same thing, actually.
What do you mean she said the same thing? You told Carly about this?
I had to because I couldn't very well go up to this man who I hadn't seen since he was a teenager, and I didn't know if Lucas knew about his biological parents, so I talked to Carly, and Carly talked to Bobby, and Bobby talked to Lucas, and he agreed to cooperate.
Okay, Mom. Okay, all right. I understand. You know what? I kind of basically did the same thing. I went and I got those DNA tests when I was pregnant with Jason's baby, and I basically blindsided him. So I'm in absolutely no position to criticize.
Well, that's very generous of you, honey. Thank you.
Okay, so what do we do now?
Truthfully, I want to find out if my hunch is correct. For closure, that sort of thing. How about you?
No, I mean, it makes me a little sad. If Julian Jerome was my father, and this test proves that he was a match, that means that I'm never going to get to know my father, and Danny is never going to get to know his grandfather. But I don't know, Mom. Maybe that's all a good thing, considering who he was.
Oh, if it's true that Julian Jerome was the boy that I was with that night, it proves my unerring instinct for bad romantic relationships and unsuitable men go way back to high school.
I guess on the plus side, I mean, if Julian had a son, that means I have a half-brother, and Danny has an uncle.
There's that.
There is that. Okay. I say let's do it.
This is all my